Okay, good vach and welcome to Sukkah. Not Sukkah. We're not in Sukkah anymore, are we? We're in Mesachas Beitzah now. We're on Daf. What Daf are we on, Yehuda? Daf Dalin.
No, on base.
Yehuda got it now. He says I want Aleph and I want Beis. He got the hang of Daf Yomi. We do two Amudim, a whole Daf. All right, we're gonna start from the bottom of Gimel with Beis. We were discussing yesterday. Is this straight, Yehuda? Straight?
It's not active.
It's not ma'akiv. It has to be perfectly straight. Our viewers deserve a straight view. Not so easy with this tripod. All right. So we were discussing yesterday about machlokas and Yochanan and Reish Lakish. That they say even though normally something is batal barov, if it's darchol imanos, if it's normally counted, an egg is something which is normally counted, so it's not going to be batal. So it's machlokas and Reish Lakish and Rabbi Yochanan. Reish Lakish says it's something which is sometimes counted as considered kosher. Rabbi Yochanan says it has to be always counted. So who is? We have to find a Beitzah that says like Rabbi Yochanan. The Gemara says we have one like Rabbi Yochanan. So Haitana, the fourth line from the bottom, Amar Rav Papa, Haitana, Tana de Litra Xios. It's a Tana of Litra Xios, of a liter. Litra, I guess, is a liter of figs that are pressed together. The Amar called our Sheminian. I feel that one of body the Kosh came with rice. I mean, it's the Rabbanan. I see by Trumos and Maestros. It's not going to be batal. So it's certainly even by the Rabbanan, it's not batal. Like Trumos and Maestros. Bothering me. I can never get it perfect. It's very hard to get it perfectly on. You know, get perfectly straight. I think it's perfectly straight now, right, Yehuda? Is it perfectly straight?
No.
No. This is why I had you come, Yehuda, to tell me if the camera is perfectly straight or not. No, I'm joking. What?
Yeah, no.
It's good? Alright. So the Gemara said this now, Litra Xios, Shadar Salpi Eagle, any day of Ezel Eagle Darsa. You have a liter, a litra, is a certain amount of figs that are pressed. You press them on top of a round mound. Our school has a mound of figs that were pressed. And you know it's on top. You have a lot of mounds of pressed figs. You don't know which one you put it on top of. Alpi chabes and darsa. You put it on top of a barrel of, I guess, again pressed figs, and you don't know which barrel you put it in. Alpi kura kiveres kiveres darsa. You put it in a basket, on top of a basket. You don't know which basket you placed it in. Now, this is a suffix. We're not sure. In this literal xios, you didn't have Trumas and Maestros taken off from it. Trumas and Maestros is only batel 1 in 100. It's only the Rabbanon because it's not one of. It has to be dagan tirosh v'yitzar. It has to be either grain, olives, or grapes in order to be truma d'oraisa. Truma d'Rabbanan is from the rest of the fruits. So we're talking about figs over here, so it's truma d'Rabbanan. Remeir Omer, so the fellow Machlokes, Remeir Omer, Rabbi Lezer Omer, he says the Machlokes and Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Yeshua is as follows. Rabbi Lezer Omer, Rowan es alyonos kilahin prudos. We look at the top parts of these barrels, or the top part of these mounds, and we say it's separate. But tachtonos malos says alyonos. And therefore, if there's 100 parts on the bottom, 100 times, 100 liters of figs on the bottom, it could mavatel the top part. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, he says you need 100 other barrels over there with the top, and so therefore you have 100 tops that are not trumas and maestros. They can vatal the trumas and maestros. If you don't have 100, so then we know it's on the top, so only the tops are us, or the bottoms are mutter. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, he's a different version of the Machlokes between Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Yeshua. This is exactly what Rabbi Yeshua said according to Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, according to Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yeshua says something else. Even if you have 300 pumin, 300 tops, lo yalu, even though they are not trumas and maestros, lo yalu, it can't mavatel the other tops. Why can't he batal on the top? So this is the proof. This shita Rabbi Yeshua, according to Rabbi Yehuda, is the proof that even though you have even on the tops you have batal in a meya, which truma is the rabban is batal. The meya, it's still not batal. Why is it not batal? It's considered a davar chashuv. I guess liter ksios, the leader of ksios, these pressed figs are something like eggs, where they're normally sold individually, but sometimes you sell them ba'omed with estimation. So it's similar to eggs. And we see over here that Rabbi Yeshua, according to Rabbi Yehuda, hold that it's not batel. No matter what you do, it's not batel. That's the proof. Now the Gemara continues to dissect the rest of the Beitzah. Darsa be'igul, the ena yodea be'izi igul darsa, devre kol yalu. If you actually press it into the middle of one of these mounds, you didn't do it on the top. In the previous case, we knew it was on top. Now you put it in the middle. Everyone agrees that it's batel and meya. So the Gemara says divrei akol haina plusayu. Well, we just said it's machlokas whether it's batel or not. Amar of Papa Haki Kamar Darsa Beagle and there is a makom eagle Darsa Ilitson Ilidrom. The Gemara clarifies we don't know where in the mound it is. Is it on the top or on the bottom, the north or the south? Divrei akol yala. Everyone agrees batel because here it's not recognizable anymore. Once it's not recognizable where it is, so therefore it loses its status of being a davar chashuv. It's not like an egg anymore because it's not sold individually because it's batel in the rove of it. So it's once it's batel barov, so midaraisa and midarabana it's batel in 100. Is a truma. Rashi Amar, Rashi. Now we're going back to original question. We asked him the four opinions. That try to understand our Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Beitzah says that a Beitzah shnol b'yom tov, you can't eat it. So we had different opinions, and we had a Beitzah that seemed to be a question. It said Safek Asura. So if the Isser is only the Rabbanan, according to Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Yosef, so the Gemara asks, so should be Safek the Rabbanan Lakula? Why didn't you say Safek the Rabbanan Lakula? It should be Mutter. Rashi is going to answer this. Another answer. The Olam Safek Yom Tov Safek Chol. Really, the Beitzah that we talked about, I wasn't talking about a treifa, an egg that came from a mother that was a treifa. Really, it's a suffix whether it was born on Yom Tov or not. Heavy darash yesh matirin, v'chol darash yesh matirin. I feel with the rabbanon lo batil. This is a big fetish over here. Even suffix the rabbanon lakula, we weren't willing to say this originally. That when you have suffix the rabbanon lakula, darash yesh matirin affects even suffix the rabbanon lakula to the point. Even though normally said the rabbanon would go lakula, if it's a darash yesh matirin and this egg's going to mutter tomorrow, it's only usher today, so therefore we don't rely on the kula and you say l'chumra. That's why the Beitzah says Safek Asura. Tanya, Acherim Omrim Mishum Reb Lezer Beitzah Tochal Hivi Ima. A new Beitzah, Acherim is Rabbi Meir, another way of saying Rabbi Meir. He says the name of Reb Lezer. A Beitzah that's born, presumably on Yom Tov, you could eat it, you could eat the egg, and you could eat the mother. But my asking, in what case are we talking about? Ilema, Tarnagolas, Medes Lachila. If we're talking about a Tarnagolas that's made to be eaten, that you're being used shaft for poultry, Pshita, the Hivi Ima Sharia. Of course, it's mother, and the mother is Mutter Vigilai Shaft on Yom Tov. It's Ochel Nefesh, and the egg is Ochel de Ifrasu, like the Gemara says. It's like a slice of bread that comes off a loaf of bread. Ela b'tarnagolas hamedes l'gadol beitzah. Hivi Masura. What are you going to tell? You're talking about, if we say we're talking about a hen that is being used to produce eggs. So that the hen is muksa, and the eggs are going to be muksa also. So what are we talking about? So how can you say they're both going to be eating it? Amar Reb Zera tochal agav ima. He means this Beitzah means to say that it's eaten dependent on its mother. What does that mean? Hechidan. What's the case? Amar Abaye. We're talking about a case where it was sold on Yom Tov. Under certain circumstances, you're allowed to sell it on Yom Tov. Now, it depends on the buyer. What's he planning on using it for? So he doesn't tell anyone what he's using it for. So he just buys it stam without any prior agreements. So if he shechs it on Yom Tov, so then we realize that now he's the new owner. It's a tarnagola somedas la'achila. And therefore, the hen could be eaten. You let a shecht on Yom Tov, and the Beitzah, which is born on Yom Tov, could be eaten because it's uchla defrasu. But if he decides like Gadol Beitzah to keep the hen around alive to produce the eggs, then it's going to be aser because it's muksa. Rav Mori Amar Guzma Kasani. He says Hiva Ima Asura, Hiva Ima Tochal, Beitzah Tochal Hiva Ima. It's really just Guzma. Guzma is just when you overstate something, you say something obvious. We said that with Mara's question was Pshita. Mara's saying it's really it is obvious. It's just sometimes the Bryces exaggerate or confirm something by saying it in a very uh, whatever Guzma is very what's Guzma? How do you translate Guzma?
Kuzma be'an.
Exaggeration. Exaggeration. You just exaggerate it. You confirm it by saying something that's so obvious. Keep on losing the places. Also, Gemara is very small. The Sanya, how do you know this is the Guzma Katani? The Sanya, Cherem Omrim, Mishum Lezer, Beitzah Tochal Hivi Ima Ve'efroch B'Kli Paso. A Beitzah that's born, you could eat it and its mother, and also an Efroach, which is a young chick, which is just hatched, and the Klipa, and the shell. My Klipa. So what does it mean the shell? Ilema Klipa Mamish, you're eating the actual shell. Klipa Basachili. The Bryce means to tell me you're supposed to eat the shell? What are we talking about? People eat shells over here? Yehuda ever make Yehuda doesn't want to joke around, but sometimes people will make eggs. You crack the egg, you put the yolk and the white part into the bowl or whatever, and you see sometimes you get a shell in there. Most people don't eat the shells. Usually try to take it out. Rosh Hashanah, if you ever make eggs on Rosh Hashanah, you're allowed to make eggs on Rosh Hashanah, right? It's Yom Tov. Ochel Nefesh is mutter, but actually machlokas, but Ochel Nefesh applies on Rosh Hashanah or not, right? Ochel Nefesh applies on Rosh Hashanah, Yehuda? You're allowed to cook on Rosh Hashanah? I think we pass and you are allowed to cook. It's the machlokas.
Last year you couldn't.
What? Last year was Shabbos. Shabbos you can't. Anyway, let's say you're cooking some eggs on Rosh Hashanah, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to take out the shells. You're not going to eat the shells. Some people have a minhag for one of the simonim. They eat the klipa. They make eggs and they eat the shells. I'm telling you, it's a big minhag because you know what? Just like eggs are very cheap and available, so therefore everything in life should be very cheap and available for you. So if you eat the shell, it's a simon for that. It's a new simon. You heard it here first. This is the new simonim. We're having a Rosh Hashanah 2.0 this year, so the old simonim are out. Come on, these old simanim. I mean, our scholars, you know what these things are. Fenugreek? I don't know what these things are. So I'm going to make new simanim. We're going to have eggshells. The Gemara says people don't eat eggshells, so you just put it in your mouth and you spit it out. And you say Yiratzon. Okay? Who doesn't agree with this? He told me not to make any jokes before. But how can I go to Yeshua without making any jokes? I mean, it's Rosh Hashanah in 2 days, but you know what? 2 days away. It's not Rosh Hashanah. All right. Ela afroach b'kli paso. Ela afroach b'kli paso. I was talking about eating a chick, a young bird that was just hatched, b'kli paso, right after it was born. Adkan l'pligi rabban aled Rebelezer. Sorry, b'kli paso, while it's in, before it hatched. Adkan l'pligi rabban aled Rebelezer when Yaakov aleicha diyatz la'avra.
Why someone should want to eat a frog?
Chicks taste good, maybe.
But before she got born,
right?
You need the legs and the eyes. Yeah.
Are you suggesting we have another simon on Rosh
Hashanah? I
Hashanah?
think that's a kavanah.
This is it's talking about it. It tastes good. Chicks are very good.
Okay.
Some people call girls chicks, but I won't get into that. Anyway, afroach. Some people apparently want to eat it, so we're talking about. The Gemara suggests we're talking about the chick while it was still in the egg. You crack open the egg and you have the chick there. Everyone agrees before it hatches. The Rabban Elazar and Yaakov machlokes right after a chick hatches, but it hasn't opened its eyes yet. Elazar and Yaakov is also to eat. The Rabban say it's okay to eat, but even the Rabban will be moda before it's hatched. It's also to eat. Ella afroach v'klipaso guzma. Really, it's talking about after the egg hatched. Afroach klipaso, it says you can eat the chick and its klipa. It's a guzma. It's an exaggeration. It's just to overstate something in order to confirm that that's the halacha. You don't actually eat the klipa unless you want to have a good year. Things should be cheap and available. But if you don't normally eat the klipa, so it just overstate that it's mutter. Let's say you could eat it and the mother. The mother we know you could eat is not muksa, and you could eat it the beitzah, which is a chiddush, because we consider uchal the ifra. So itmar Shabbos v'Yom Tov. Shabbos followed by Yom Tov. Rabbi Mar nolda b'zeh asur b'zeh. Let's say the egg is born on Shabbos, and then Yom Tov falls on a Sunday. So Rav says you can't eat it on Yom Tov. Rabbi Yochanan Amar nolda b'zeh asim teres b'zeh. He says you're allowed to eat it on the second day. Everyone now, Beis Hillel says you can't eat it on the day itself, but Rav is saying you can't even eat it on the second day. So we're going to try to figure out what Rav's svara is. Nemo Katel Rav Kedusha Achas. Maybe he holds Shabbos and Yom Tov is one long day. It's one Kedusha. Amar Rav, that can't be. Halacha Garbaz Kanim, Aliba Derlezer, Damar Shtei Kedushas Hain. He said it in a different place that Shabbos and Yom Tov are two different Kedushos. That means there's a separation between the 2 days. So what it was born on Shabbos, you can eat it on Yom Tov. There should be no reason. Allahacha b'hachana de Rabba coming for you. Rabbi say hachana de Rabba, Rabbi Yochanan leis le hachana de Rabba. Machlokes is whether you say of hachana de Rabba means something that was born on Yom Tov, the second day. It was prepared on Shabbos. So Shabbos preparing for Yom Tov is a problem. Hachana de Rabba. Here is a big chiddush over here because here the egg was prepared in the mother of the stomach, or the mother of the hen, on a Friday before Shabbos and before Yom Tov. So therefore there should be no problem with Achana de Rabba. So what does it mean Achana de Rabba over here? So the Rishonim say Achana de Rabba applies even when it's hatched, when it's born, when it's produced, when it's laid. Sorry, that's the right word. When the egg is laid, that also is a little bit of a preparation. So therefore when it's laid on Shabbos, it's also considered prepared. Achana de Rabba, Rabba would extend that from Shabbos to Yom Tov. The Gemara says, "Tonight, Magalus Tanaim. Nolda b'Shabbos tochel b'Yom Tov. B'Yom Tov tochel b'Shabbos. If it's born in one, you can eat it the next day. Rehuda Omer, Mishum Lezer Adayin Hi Machlokes. V'Shamar Om Tochel Yisrael Mim Lo Sochel. It's Machlokes. And Beis Hillel Paschals, even in that case, you can't eat it like Rav. Ushbezichne the Rav Ada Barav, the hosts of Rav Ada Barav. He was staying by their house. He was on a fundraising trip, and he was staying by their house. Havulei Hanach Beitzah Yom Tov l'Shabbos. He was staying there over Yom Tov and Shabbos, and Yom Tov fell on a Friday. And the egg was laid on Friday, and he wanted to eat it on Shabbos. Can I roast it on Yom Tov? Yom Tov, you're allowed to roast eggs, and I eat it on Shabbos. I'm only
It's talking about regular eggs, no?
Eggs that was laid on Yom Tov.
No, which egg? A regular egg, nah.
An egg that was laid on Yom Tov.
Like an egg that it's not like there was a flaw in it.
Not a frog. No. It's not
a regular egg.
A regular egg that you buy in the store that have yolk and no. Could he do that? I'm really my dad's got Rabbi Yochanan like Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan only passing like Rabbi Yochanan. Normally, I feel Rabbi Yochanan no kashari el lagoma lamacha. He only allows it to eat it on the second day. I'll be only low. He doesn't allow you to touch it. You can't touch the egg. It's muksa. We passing like Beis Hillel. Beitzah Janel the Yondav is asura. You can't eat it and you can't move it also. That Tanya, and we have a Beitzah to support this. Achas Beitzah Janol to be b'Shabbos. Achas Beitzah Janol to be Yom Tov. Emitalton so lo lachas basakli l'smach bakari emita. You can't move it, even if you want to cover a kli with it, or to support a bed with it. Specifically, the Rav Papa or Amaleahu Gabra, the Asak made the Rav Papa. Either the host or Rav Papa. Rav Papa was staying by them in America. When he went there to America, he went to Woodmere, a fundraising trip. Papa was from America. He's from Woodmere. He had a big house in Woodmere. A couple swimming pools. He had one swimming pool for himself, one swimming pool for his wife, and one swimming pool for the Rosh Yeshiva who came from Eretz Yisrael. His own special swimming pool he made for him. Amrilahu Gabra asking me the Rav Papa. Habul Hanach Beitzah Mishabbos Yom Tov. He had a case where Shabbos fell out. Yom Tov fell out after Shabbos on a Sunday. Asa l'kamei. Amalei ma'al l'mechlinu l'machar. Can I eat them on Yom Tov? Amalei zila idna v'tol l'machar. He says, go tomorrow. Come back tomorrow on Yom Tov, on a Sunday, and I'll answer you. The Rab Lamuki Amora Ilavei Miyomatav Lechavre Mishum Shechras. Rav, whenever he would give a drasha, he wouldn't really give a drasha. He wouldn't have someone. Normally, when they gave drashas, they had someone who was matargim who would say it loud for them. It was like the microphone for them. They would say it in the ears of the Amora, and he would be a microphone for them. He would say it out loud. Um, he wouldn't do this on Yom Tov. He would wait a day because since once Yom Tov started, he drank wine. He's supposed to drink wine on Yom Tov, right, Leah? You're supposed to drink wine on Yom Tov.
Sure.
What wine do you drink on Yom Tov?
Continuous.
She drinks Bartanura. All right, Leah drinks Bartanura. I was actually thinking about buying Bartanura for Yom Tov. He doesn't. He wouldn't pass on a shaila because he'd be drunk. He'd be drunk. He would start drinking. So normally the halacha is you have to wait till you recover from your inebriation. But he was machmir to wait a day. So Rav Papa followed Rav's kumra. So he didn't want to pass on that day. Yasam Machar, when he came back the next day, Amar Lei, Iku Hashta Ishtalai. If you didn't come until now, if I would have answered you before, I would have made a mistake. Amri Lach. And I would have told you, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan, they machlokes, Salach follows Rabbi Yochanan. But Amar Rava Hilchasak Avas Derav Mahani Tlas Bein Lekula Bein Lechumra. We're going to see later on. Lacha follows Rav in this case. This is one of the three cases where we follow Rav Bein Lekula Bein Lechumra. When we get to the other two cases, we'll see soon one case on this stuff, and then tomorrow will be another case of Rav, passing like Rav. Amar Rabbi Yosef, therefore the lacha is like Rav, and therefore you can't have it the second day because of Achana de Rabba. Pashas tomorrow says. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, a new case. Let's say wood fell into your oven. Apparently they had trees situated above their ovens and fell in. You let it burn it on Yom Tov. Now this is a case of Nola. Before Yom Tov was attached to the tree, right? Now it's a new thing. Now normally you're allowed to burn wood on Yom Tov because Zochal Nefesh is to Hanas Haguf. But it's considered Nola, you're allowed to use it. So Yochanan says it's Aser. Beitzah, don't tell me Beitzah. My time, Beitzah Mishun Biyomanami, Chazia Lagoma, Lokashara Lamachar. Again, this is a case like we said before, where like Rabbi Yochanan's case, where it was Shabbos and Yom Tov. Yom Tov followed Shabbos. It fell into the oven on Shabbos. You want to burn it on Yom Tov to cook with this wood. The reason, the difference between an egg and wood. Beitzah, you could really eat it on its day. And you don't allow it till tomorrow. Made the yada the bas yoma asura. Right? The first day of Yom Tov, technically, you can eat an egg. There's only problem with eating an egg. It was there. There's no problem eating it. You can cook an egg. But the fact that I matter tomorrow showed that you know that the first day is aser. Eitzim l'chazli umayu. Eitzim that fell on Shabbos, you're not allowed to burn them on Shabbos. Ishar l'machar. By passing that it's mutter l'machar on Yom Tov, asking l'meir b'yomayu nam ishar. People are going to say, really, on Yom Tov was the first day Yom Tov, it fell in the oven, it would be okay. But Edmund Mishum Shabbos l'chazli l'asaka. And the reason it was last time was Aser because it was Shabbos, because you can't burn on Shabbos, you can't burn firewood on Shabbos, no lachal nefesh. Therefore, you have to make an extra gzeira that wood is Aser. Amar Rav Masna, Eitzim Shnashim Nadekel Toch Hatana B'Yom Tov. Let's say again, wood fell into your oven on Yom Tov. Now you're allowed to use it, but it's a problem of muksa, right? Because it's nola. So Marbel and Eitzim Muchanim Masik, and you can put extra firewood that's more batal barov, and you could light it on fire. But when you're moving it around to make the fire grow bigger, so you're moving muksa. Kevan the ruba, Kevan the ruba, the heterin, since most of the branches are heter, they're not muksa, they're prepared before Yom Tov, so therefore it's considered batal barov. It's considered like he's moving the muchan ones. And the Gemara says, "V'hakam batal yisur lechatchila." It's not even batal yisur lechatchila. A Mishnah in Trumos, you're not allowed to batal yisur lechatchila. It says you're even allowed to add eitzim in order that you should make it batal barov. You can't do that. It's not batal. Gemara says, "Hani miliv d'oraisa." The rabbanan mivatalina. You can't batal yisur d'oraisa. Once the rabbanan is muksa, you could even batal. Well, Rav Ashi, the Amar Kula Rashish Matir, and I feel they're bottom low bottom. Rav Ashi said, when you have a subject they're abundant, even though normally go to the Kula, if it's Darashish Matir, you mutter tomorrow, so it's not batil, so you can't rely on Rov. How could you rely on Rov? Just like you can't rely on subject they're abundant the Kula, you can't rely on Rov. That's only when the Isser is Be'en, it's distinguishable. Hacha, Mikla Kali Isser here, it's already burnt up. The Mfarshim ask over here, when you start moving the branches, they're not burnt up yet. It's not mikla kali. It is recognizable, the branches. The Rishonom's question over here, you're still metaltal muksa. You have an answer to that?
No.
I stumped Yehuda. Can't believe it. First time ever. Time to party. All right. Itmar. Shnei Yom Tovim. Baruch Shakivant. Itmar. Shnei Yom Tovim Shal Golius. 2 Yom Tovim Al Golius, like in America, right? They have 2 days of Yom Tov. Or England or anywhere else besides Israel. Rav Amar Nolda B'Zeh Muteres B'Zeh. He says was if the egg was laid on the first day, you could eat it the second day. Even normally Aser Shabbos and Yom Tov, we aser. Kind of the Rabbah by Sheyom Tovim Shagolius. He will see why later he matters it. Rav Asi Amar Nolda B'Zeh Asur B'Zeh. He says Asur. Leiman Kasav Rav Asi. What's Rav Asi's reasoning? Kasav Kedusha Achas. He holds Shnei Yom Tovim Shagolius is one Kedusha. Rav Asi Ma'avdil Yom Tov L'Chavre. But we know that Rasi also had a practice. He made Abdullah after the first day of Yom Tov. So obviously he thought it was 2 different Kedushas. So how can you say it was one long Kedusha according to him? He wasn't sure if it was one long day or if it was separate days. So therefore he made Abdullah after both days. And he also asked the egg. Amar Rav Zera, Kavasi de Ravasi Misabra. It actually seems appropriate to pass like Ravasi. Now we know we have set up when Rosh Chodesh is not a suffix anymore. Kavdin and Shayomi, and we make 2 days, so obviously it's one long day. Amar Ravai, he's a different story. Kavasi the Rav Mistabra. Actually, it's more Mistabra to say like Rav. It's not Rishona. You must see in Masuos originally when they had Rosh Chodesh in order to based in to tell everyone the Rosh Chodesh, they would light torches, and they would pass one torch would see the next torch until they lit up all Eretz Yisrael and all above all the Gola.
Yeah, it's
Mishnah and Rosh Hashanah. We'll get there soon. The Kusim one time played around with them, and they lit torches even when it wasn't Rosh Hashanah. And then they made a takana that you don't do it through the fire and the torches anymore. You have people from Basin after the month was Mekudash to go and tell everyone. And the problem was in Bavel they didn't get to the Chutz La'aretz in time, so therefore they had to do 2 days in Chutz La'aretz. Only Eretz Yisrael did 1 day. Ilu Batul Kusim, but if the Kusim technically were gone, they went away the Kusim and they weren't going to trick us. Avdin and Chad Yoma. We would do even in Goliath, we would do 1 day. Vehecha the Matu Shluchin, also even in Eretz Yisrael where the Shluchin reached Chad Yoma, we do Avdin and Chad Yoma. We only do 1 day of Yom Tov. Hash the Yidim B'Kfiyah the Yarcha, my time Avdin and Shayom. So therefore Abayi said it's mistaber to pass like Rav because it's really 1 day. It's just because they can't reach that place. Technically, it's really 1 day, and it's just an extra day. So the Gemara says, now we know that when the month is established. My time of the Shayom. So why do you do 2 days? It should be like Eretz Yisrael with the Shluchim God, or before if the Kutim were Batel. Because they said it's good to keep a minhag of your forefathers. Because it's going to become to make a problem if, let's say, you have a harsh government and they decree that you shouldn't study Torah, so we're going to forget how to Mekadesh the Chodesh mathematically. That's what you rely on nowadays. You rely on mathematics. The calendar is set, but technically people can make a mistake. They lose the calendars and they make a mathematical mistake. And therefore, there would be a reason to have 2 days of Yom Tov, even though really technically we know now which day is Rosh Chodesh. Itmar Shtei Yom Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah. This is the 3rd case. 2 days Rosh Hashanah. We're coming after Rosh Hashanah, right, Yehuda? Apropos, we're learning Rosh Hashanah. Rav and Shmuel, Nolda B'Zeh Asur B'Zeh. Rav and Shmuel both agree. There's no machlokas over here. The Nolda B'Zeh, according to Rav and Shmuel, the Nolda B'Zeh, if it's born on the first day, the egg is laid on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, it's also on the second day. Because that's really a Yom HaArichta Rosh Hashanah. It's 2 days. It's 1 long day. That's not Rishona. Yom Makabel is the Chodesh Kol Yom. Originally, when they were Kaddish the Chodesh, they would Makabel Eidos that today is Rosh Chodesh, so the new moon the whole day. Hamachas Nishtu Eidim Lavo. The Eidim, the witnesses came too late. It's Kaku Levim B'Shir. They came after Mincha. So for the Talmid Shel Ben Arbayim, they sang the song of Lamed Elul, which is not the Shir of Rosh Hashanah. Because they came late. They made a takana that not makabel edim until mincha, only until mincha, until Hamisha ben Arbayim. Bo edim and mincha lamala nogan osa yom kodesh l'machar kodesh. If they came technically after mincha, so we have to make that day Rosh Hashanah. But you sing the song, so therefore they made it. If they came to mincha lamala, they would say that day is Rosh Hashanah, and the next day the Rosh Hashanah they would sing the shir of Lamed El, but they would make that day Rosh Hashanah Aleph. Tishrei, and the next day will be Beis Tishrei, and that's how we do. That's why even in Chutz La'aretz we have 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. Hope you enjoy your Rosh Hashanah. Wish him Hashanah Tova, Yehuda.
Shana Tova Masuko.
Amen.